statements is true. One, Dorothy's "there's no place like home," as she returns from her whirlwind Oz trip, discovers that home truly is where the heart is and revels in her family's love. Or two, Thomas Wolfe's "you cannot go home again," with its conviction that even if you might be able to physically return to the place of your birth, nothing and no one, including yourself, will be the same. The home of your memory is long gone. The wizard or the wolf? Who's got it right? Can you go home again or not? We all yearn for home. It's a powerful word that stirs up deep emotions within us. If you ask anyone of any age to describe the home where they grew up, they'll most likely be able to provide a lengthy and detailed description. Undoubtedly, they'll remember details like where they slept or what mealtime was like, who sat where around the dinner table. I distinctly remember the sound of the back door, screen door slamming behind me as I flew in the back door and hearing Mom say, "David!" and sliding down the banister in the front hallway, and this big heating grate that was in the dining room floor. For better or worse, and memories of home become very part of our being. They travel with us throughout our lives. Home is supposed to be a safe haven, a port in the storm, a place where the door was always open and you can count on being welcome. Home is supposed to be that place where you will always be accepted just the way you are. But what if we didn't have a home to which to go back? What if there was no one and no place that welcomed us? We're completing our seasonal homecoming celebrations of Advent and Christmas today. Today is the last day of the Christmas season. Well, technically tomorrow. In the past month, we have spent weeks paying attention to John's promise that the true light which enlightens everyone was coming into the world. Jesus was coming home. And so we watched for that light. We journeyed through Advent, waiting, counting down, and expecting. We may not have been preparing welcome home signs for Jesus, but we've been lighting candles on an Advent wreath, opening little windows on an Advent calendar, all to help us count down the days until we could sing with joy and amazement, knowing that the Christ had actually chosen to come and dwell with us. It is a homecoming celebration like no other. And then finally, Christmas arrived. And you got to sing good old familiar Christmas carols instead of those dang Advent hymns. I know. And siblings in Christian churches across the globe mark the glorious occasion of the arrival of the Christ in the world. Christmas is a celebration that Jesus did indeed come home again. The Word, who was with God and was God, came back to dwell among God's people, whom he had known from the very beginning. The Word became flesh and lived among us. Or as Gene Peterson translated, the Word became flesh and blood and moved into the neighborhood. This is what the miracle of Christmas is about. Jesus is home. The next miracle is supposed to be the celebration of Epiphany, when we rejoice that the light shines in the darkness and the darkness did not overcome it. But there's a problem. As John notes, Jesus was in the world and the world came into being through him, yet the world did not know him. It seems that maybe Thomas Wolfe was right. You really can't go home again. The homecoming celebration fell flat because when the guest of honor showed up, it turned out that no one recognized him. Or even worse, they knew him all right, but they did not open their hearts to him. They did not welcome him. It's really one of the saddest verses in the Bible. Jesus comes into the world that he has known even before the world knew itself, and the world ignores him. They did not know him, John writes. How could his own people not recognize or acknowledge him? Why can't Jesus go home again? What's going on here? We know how we want it to be. We want a Hallmark moment, or at the very least a Folgers coffee moment when the smell of that brewing coffee wafts upstairs to awaken sleeping parents in the homecoming of their long absent child. They hurry downstairs, envelop them in hugs and smiles. That's the homecoming. That's what it's supposed to look like, right? We want the happy ending. The tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree moment when the hesitant returnee discovers that not one but hundreds of ribbons have been fastened to the branches of the tree as a symbol of welcome and joy. We would like an over-the-top, full-out, heartfelt homecoming, complete with love, welcome, and recognition. We've all seen those heartwarming videos of dramatic homecomings. Just this week, or last week, CNN had one where a child was at a recital playing Jingle Bells, and from behind her, her dad, who'd been in the military, came in, and she turns and looks, and there's this incredible expression of acknowledgement, but then she turns and goes right back to finishing the song. Good for her. Those are the moments we want, we long for. But what if there is no recognition? What if the returning father or mother stood there proud and expectant in military dress and no one came running? What if their arms were open and no one stepped forward? How sad, how empty, how lonely. And that emptiness is what Jesus experiences. Somehow, Jesus' own creation, the very ones who came into being through him, did not know him and did not respond to him. Jesus came home, but there was no loving response. The welcoming shout, the joyous hug never materialized for him. Jesus went home and the hearts of his people were closed. The doors of their spirits slammed shut in Jesus' face. How can this be? What went wrong? How can the people of God not recognize the Son of God? John hints at an answer when he says, but all who received him, who believed in his name, Jesus gave power to become children of God. Clearly, many people, even most, either were not ready to receive Jesus when he arrived home, or they felt unprepared, like maybe they hadn't had a chance to clean up and present their best face. Or they underestimated just how eager Jesus was to be part of their lives. Or perhaps they would have to impress him or to make sure that the house was clean. Maybe they're just too caught up in their day-to-day lives to know just how much they needed the new life and forgiveness that Jesus came to offer. For whatever reason, they did not recognize the transforming power and renewing love that Jesus brought with him. The people did not know him. Maybe they weren't looking for him. Jesus would later say, "Seek, and you will find." Well, perhaps the opposite is also true. if they aren't seeking or looking, we will not find or recognize God who is standing right smack in front of us. The key to a happy homecoming is having a spirit ready to receive and hearts that are open to believe. If folk aren't open to receiving, the gift is offered in vain. You can lead a horse to water, but when we are willing to be open and to welcome the God who knocks on the doors of our hearts, we will receive, as John puts it, grace upon grace. But you see, it's all contingent on that first step. The willingness to welcome the Christ into our lives. And so, we come back to that opening question. The wizard or the wolf? See, the answer is ours for the answer. It's not a trick question. Nor is it simply an intellectual exercise. And it is far bigger and better and more important than the wizard or the wolf. On this first Sunday of a new year, Jesus wants to enter our lives, whether for the very first time or the 10,000th time. Jesus has come to his own, you, in this sacred space. And now it's on us. It is for each of us to decide whether welcome home or don't let the door slam behind you.